Whoa, sorry to cut off the amazing music there, which is absolutely incredible. But it's time to start the stream. It's a little bit better than music, but if you guys want us to go back to the music, we will.
Music or people?
I like the people. I like the people in gameplay. I think that's way better. But to introduce the people that will be giving you the gameplay today, I am Brad Pluto Ramey, the Assistant Community Manager, getting all the points and the ginger-hairedness. Joined by our lead producer here at Wasteland Games, Dave Serra. It's been a while. It's been a spell.
It has been a while.
Been here, and I've been very saddened by this.
Yes.
There's been no fine beverage report. There's been no Dave Serra interaction. Like, what are we drinking and what are we talking about? I have no clue.
So, Brad, you never drank the beer anyway.
True, but it was an entertaining segment with you and Andy. Because Andy is more of a connoisseur of beer than myself. I am just a lowly 23-year-old that knows nothing except how to get drunk, I guess.
When I was 23, I was drinking a lot of beer. You guys do what you're going to do. We're not advocating alcohol consumption on this show here.
Not at all.
I do have a request, though. Can we turn this down?
Let's see.
This is crazy loud. It's like Brad is not only sitting right next to me, he's screaming at me, but I know he's not screaming.
I'm trying not to. Okay,
it's just really loud.
Is this work?
That's the magic dial right there.
Did that work?
That's the one. If it sounds great.
Okay, perfect.
Cool.
All right, we're going to jump into the game right now. We don't want to dilly-dally any longer. You know who we are, and we're about to show you Dawngate. So Dawngate is a new MOBA developed by us here at Waystone Games. We are two members of the team. Like I said, Dave Serra being the lead producer and myself being the assistant community manager. I've been here. It's coming on 7 months now. I came here in May, and it's coming up on the end of at the end of December. I will have been here for 7 months. But Dave, on the other hand, is the OG.
It seems like you've been here for 7 years, Brad.
Is that? I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Is that one of those things like you've been here so little, but it's grating on me, and I want to get rid of you?
What do you need it to be, Brad?
I need it to be the good kind. I need it to be the good kind. The long.
It's the good kind. We love Brad.
Awesome. So being here for the long haul, you have been here. I mean, you were literally the one that came to EA and said, "Hey, we have an idea.
We pitched the game. Myself and another guy who's not on the team anymore, and backed by kind of the core of the team. A lot of the people that you guys have met already on stream. There's about a dozen of us, and we were playing a ton of League, ton of Dota. A lot of us go way back with the genre, and our team is kind of breaking up at the time. And we were like, well, we want to stay together. We want to keep making games. What will we do? Let's pitch a game. Mm-hmm. And the crazy fantasy came true. And at the time, Frank Chabot was the president of the games label. He's like, I think this is a good idea. And he greenlit us on the spot, which was nuts. That never happens.
Really?
And it's been a wild couple of years. And we were kind of in the dark for about a year and a half. And then we kind of came out, 7 months ago, something like that.
Yeah. As soon as I came around, the beta started as I joined.
That's right.
Like, guys, let's do beta.
Exactly, man.
And then so shall it be. In the past 7 months has been a wild ride. We've done beta events just about every weekend. We've expanded the window. I think the first window was was it like just a Friday, or was it a Friday and Saturday?
It was just a Friday.
It was like 3 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Yeah,
it was like 6 hours of
it was like 6 hours or 8 hours, something like that.
Yeah. And then since then, we've expanded to it was Friday and Saturday, and then it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and now we're at Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we're slowly ramping up. You know, the question we get asked all the time, people that want to play more Dawngate, they're saying, please open it up longer, please open it longer. As lead producer, since we finally have you on here, you know, you can kind of maybe speak to that.
Sure.
What needs to happen for us to be kind of 24/7?
You know, I can't go too far into the weeds, but in a nutshell, we need to make sure that the service is healthy. And a part of the service is the player population, you know, and we're going very slowly. If you know, I was watching, I forget if it was Money Pigs or Dibs Dreamcast last night, but one of the guys.
Two great podcasts.
Absolutely, we all watch them. You know, it's super fun. But one of the guys was commenting, you know, I can't believe there are always new people coming into Dawngate. And while we are opening the floodgates up, I shouldn't say that. While we are bringing new people in, we are not opening the floodgates up.
Yeah.
You know, and that's very intentional. The game that you guys are playing right now, and a lot of you know, that are new, you don't see this, but a lot of you that have been with us over the beta, you guys know this. We're revamping items. We're redoing the map that we currently think of the Dawngate, and you can play that in the closed beta now. Yeah. That's just kind of how we roll in our beta. But we needed to get the game into beta with you guys so that we could understand, were we making the right thing? And, you know, the other way to do it would be, you know, stay dark for another half a year and then come out and go, here it is. It's your favorite thing. You know, and behind the scenes, you're like, I hope they like it.
Yeah. Only then to discover problems. And right. Be like, oh, damn.
Exactly. You know, and so we are rapidly approaching this place where, because of the data that we've gotten from you guys, basically, we have very high confidence in the tech, in the design, in a lot of things we're doing behind the scenes with tuning. So 24/7 is coming,
Yeah.
TM soon. But
Yeah.
when I say TM soon, I'm not saying another half a year from now. It's
There you go.
it's soon.
There you go.
Hard
Confirm,
problem.
Dave Sarah, not 6 months
Right.
away. Awesome.
That's what you
get. Hey, that's the best tease you could give, pretty much. Yeah, but we're here for you guys today. This is a developer playtest. This is a completely internal build. These are all developers you see playing here right now. Everyone is in the office, so we, sometimes get together and trash talk each other and say, "Hey, remember that ult you missed in that game? Ha ha ha." But we also use it to talk about balance and issues and stuff that we see internally, because sometimes stuff that happens internally is different than the stuff that kind of happens out in the wild, which is an interesting concept to see kind of come to fruition. But Dave and I are here for the next hour or so, for however long this game lasts, and we will answer any and all questions that hopefully we can. So if you guys do have questions, feel free to ask. We usually like the format of putting a Q, colon, and then state your question. And if I'm able to catch it, I will answer to the best of my ability, the best of my knowledge. GG Technoviking actually DC'd there, sadly, walking back to base as the AI kind of does. Let's see. This is probably the most maybe high level question, absurdity, that you've ever asked. How do you plan on curbing the Dunning-Kruger effect present in so many other MOBAs? I don't even know what those words mean.
So no, you're gonna have to refresh me on Dunning-Kruger. That's basically it's a fancy word for groupthink, essentially. Isn't that correct? Where basically the tyranny of the lowest common denominator kind of rules the day.
I have no idea.
Can somebody confirm on the definition? I don't want to get this wrong.
We're waiting on absurdity to tell us if that's what it is.
They're better than they are. Yeah,
there
totally.
You go.
So what we're going to do is we're going to put Pluto in every box that we sell, and he's going to pop out and he's going to go, "No, you're not.
No, you're stupid. I'm going to slap him in the face.
You're not that good. Go home."
Mm-hmm.
That's a really complex question. I think that if you were to ask me that question, you get a different answer you get from Hunter, for example, or from Gasty. I think that matchmaking is probably the truest, best defense. I personally, and I think we're getting into philosophy here a little bit, but I don't believe in elo hell. I think that good matchmaking algorithms do their jobs and they do them very well. And at some point, a player has to realize, hey, you know what? I am actually playing at this level. This is where I need to be for my gameplay, and that's okay. That's not a bad thing. I think that for whatever reason, people get in their heads that they've got to be plat or whatever it is, otherwise they're not good. It's like, no, actually, you got to have a good time playing your game. That's why we work so hard to make sure that the game is balanced at all different tiers of play. It's not that it's better, to be in one of them. It's that it's better to be in the right one for you. And then in terms of the Dunning-Kruger effect, fuck man, that's perception. Right?
Somebody posted a nice long-winded definition of the Dunning-Kruger effect. Thank you for that, Ganfoss. It's way too much to read.
No, this is good stuff. Cognitive bias, which unskilled individuals are talking about me, suffer from illusory superiority, mistakenly rating. That's what we were talking about.
There you go. Perfect. We hit the nail on the head.
Yes.
Kai Damon, will mana be added to some shapers when the game comes out, or will they all stay the same? So we don't have any mana in our game, although we do have some particular resource systems. For example, Freya uses Rage. Reyna right there in lane, the woman with the shield, uses Discipline. Amaranth, the kind of mermaid lady, uses Spirit. So there are definitely shapers that use a resource. However, it's not just mana. Mana is kind of a universal thing. It's you have a set pool of it. It regenerates relatively slowly unless you pad it with items and such. But for our resources, they're all different and they're all unique. Focus, for example, is what Nisa uses. It regenerates when she auto attacks, so the more autos she does, the more abilities she can use. Spirit is probably the closest thing to mana that we have. It's a large pool that regenerates relatively quickly over time, so Amaranth can actually cast for a long while before having to go back to base. Discipline for Reyna is drained when she has her W active, which is her shield, her Bastion of the North, up, which is I think 25% damage reduction in front of her, for as long as the Discipline is still in her pool. And then we have things like Energy. Moya, it's energy, as you would expect. A quickly regenerating resource. Her abilities each ability probably uses a quarter of the resource. It's very quickly spent, but also quickly regenerative. And every shaper in our game that uses a resource also has a additional passive to kind of make it worth their while to be restricted by a resource. For example, Moya gets increasing haste for every point of energy that she's missing. So the more energy she's missing, the more abilities she uses, the faster they cool down, the faster she attacks, all that kind of stuff. So, and then same goes with Freya, for example. The more haste that she has, or the more raids that she has, the faster she attacks. So everyone does have that. Ooh, we're going for a kill.
I was trying.
So close.
Luke wasn't with me, and I burned the stagger.
So close. Quite all right. Quite all right. Stagger, a relatively short cooldown.
That's true. That's why I take it.
So stagger is another thing. It is part of our spellbook. Our spellbook system is one of our other kind of outliers that makes Dawngate a very unique in the MOBA space, and I absolutely love the system. So spellbooks is where you're going to find not only summoner spells, you could say, from League of Legends, or analogs thereof, and activatable items, but how it works is at levels 1, 10, and 20, you get a spell. You unlock a spell, and you get to choose whichever spell you want at that time in the game. So it's not something you choose beforehand. You don't say, I'm going to take Blink and Bastion, and this is going to be all I get for the rest of the game. You get to choose them very situationally, which I absolutely love. There's many times where I won't take a spell for the first 6, 7 levels. You know, I'm a person that I don't believe that there is like one spell that you have to have. I believe it's whatever you need, you take. So I wait to the last second to take a spell, and whether I need an offensive spell like Stagger or Exceed or something, or a defensive spell like Blink, Blitz, Tailwind, anything like that, I wait to the last second to take it. And I think that's a really, really big plus to the system. In addition to unlocking this 3 of them at levels 1, 10, and 20, there is also you also have the ability to respec them or retrain them for 400 Vim. So let's say you take my best example is you take Vanquish, let's say, which is our analog of Smite, I guess you could say, in League of Legends. Early game to help your jungle clear. Late game, let's say Parasite is down. Let's say there's no buffs to take. You don't really need Vanquish. It's not going to help in a team fight. You can't use it against enemy shapers. Guess what? For 400 Vim, you can respec it. Take a Bastion, take a Stasis, take a Blitz, take a Tailwind. I absolutely love that system. I think it's really, really awesome, and definitely one of the unique features of Dawngate.
You know, it puts all the examples you were just giving. There was a guy, username somebody or other, I forget, but he had asked, hey, why would you play this game over, LOL or Dota? And we get that question all the time for obvious reasons. Everything that you were just talking about, in specifics, kind of goes to one of the overarching design philosophies. We want to empower the player, but, and we want to allow you to play the game the way you really want to play it. So, if you find mid-game that something else is going to be more useful for you, we want to empower you to do it. Is there a cost associated with it? Sure. Why did we take away mana? We're trying to basically reduce complexity without removing depth. And so you started talking about all the different resources that certain characters have. Some of them don't have resources at all. If you want that kind of complexity, then it's there for you. If that's a fun way to play the game, you like the micro, know, and the role system ties into that as well. You know, I chose Desecrator because I haven't streamed in a long time. I knew I'd be talking, and I'm kind of looking for a little easy mode.
Just throw out skill shots and forget it.
Yeah, that's right. But you could, if you're into last hitting and you like that gameplay. I know a lot of people love farming. You can take the gladiator role in this game, right? The idea is you play the game the way you want to play it. So in addition to these differences in rule sets, there's also just kind of a difference in overarching design philosophy. And frankly, we're actually friends with a bunch of the guys at Riot, and they talk to us. And they're like, "We love what you guys are doing." They're playing the game, they're in there, and they like seeing us mix up the genre because we all kind of believe this is a genre, right? It's not. We don't just want to clone Dota over and over and over again.
No.
Like Dota's been done really well. We don't need more of it. So
we need Dawngate.
Yep.
We're doing it.
Exactly.
Heroic Technology asking, how are you going to control the power of Blink? So Blink is our spell that lets you kind of blink a short distance. It's Blink in any game pretty much. It's a pretty universal kind of ability. Honestly speaking,
5-minute cooldown.
5-minute cooldown. And not only is it 5-minute cooldown, I honestly don't take Blink almost ever.
I never take Blink anymore.
I take Bastion, rarely, yeah. I take Blitz, I take Tailwind, I take Stagger, I take Stasis, I take Exceed. There's so many...
Killer Luke, killer!
Oh, he missed the ulti. There's so many amazing options, I think. Our spellbook is... How many spells are there? Pull up the spellbook real quick. So we've got 2... and then 7, and then 11.
Right
we have
now,
11 spells to choose from.
Right,
I think
right now.
And they're all right now. Yeah, exactly. Little tease for now. We did release Blitz in the midst of beta, and Stagger, I
That's
believe, are 2 spells. So we're not afraid to add spells to the spell book. That's something that we would absolutely love to do. We have plenty of spells in the works.
It's one of the reasons why we made the system modular, to be
Exactly,
honest.
yeah. It's not a set thing. It's not, well, spellbook's done. We'll never touch it again except for maybe to nerf or balance or something. We can add new spells, and we're very happy to. There are just better options than Blink, in my opinion. You know,
I agree. I mean, the direct answer, is, hey, we balanced it with the cooldown time. It's a 5-minute cooldown. It's a really powerful spell. That's a really expensive spell. 5 minutes, forget about it.
Yeah.
So I like Stagger because the cooldown is, relatively speaking, much shorter.
Yeah.
And I can use it for escape as well by slowing my opponent.
Yeah. So many great options in the spellbook that I don't think you are. To talk about League, I've been playing League for a long time. I enjoy ranked, all that kind of stuff.
Yes, yeah.
Flash, people pick Flash. Like,
mandatory.
that is it. It's
You have
almost
to.
10
You
out
have
of 10
to.
Flash in the game. I rarely see Blink, honestly, except for those late game kind of. If you're Varian or Makella, your spells are probably going to be like Dispel, Blink, and Flash, or Dispel, Blitz, and Blink. That's kind of a given. But throughout the course of the game, you see many different spells. I like to take Exceed if I'm doing really well on like Amaranth or something, and I'm super far ahead. Exceed is my spell. I absolutely love it.
You like that steroid?
Oh, I love it. So good. That like 20-30% increased power for a few seconds. Oh god,
Super fun.
It is incredible. Ice Strip saying, "Where's your typewriter, Dave?"
I know, right? He knows. We play in the beta, and I've got this. It's this old Microsoft ergonomic keyboard. And
It's the Wave thing, right? Is that what it's called?
Well, it's not the Wave. It's the Natural Elite.
Okay.
Natural Elite, and I'm so used to typing on the thing. I'm on this awesome mechanical keyboard from Logitech.
And it looks like your hand is still kind of in the
it's like a claw.
Yeah, the claw.
I just watched Toy Story the other night.
I love it. I love Toy Story.
So good.
Let's see. Any other questions you guys might have? How close are we to having a matchmaking system or an improvement in player behavior? Levers are just horrid. We understand, levers suck, toxic players suck, all that kind of stuff. We do have a report system that's in the works that'll be out to you guys hopefully, as soon as we get the kinks worked out. As far as levers are concerned, it's something that we can't just be like, this person left the game, they're banned, get out of here, because sometimes people have outlying reasons to leave a game. There may have been an emergency, their power went out, their internet went out. They may not have literally just been able to finish the game for whatever reason. And so we can't just say, they left, get them out of here, The report feature will be in, hopefully, like I said, as soon as it's ready. And you guys will be able to improve the community by reporting people, by cleaning up the streets of Dawngate.
And I'll also say this, you covered the report feature well. We're actively working on matchmaking. We're not going to put it in your hands until it's ready to be in your hands.
Yeah.
But we're actively working on it. We're not satisfied with where it is. We have no illusions that it's somehow satisfactory. So, beta's beta, and I don't mean that as an excuse, but, it's called beta because it ain't done. So.
Absolutely. It is. We are in the beta in kind of the truest sense of the word. The game, there's problems. We're the first ones to admit it. This game is not perfect, and that's what the beta is for. The beta testers are there to help us find the bugs, help us find the balance issues, help us find what's wrong, what's fun, what's not, what sucks. Tell us. We're not only looking for good silver lining feedback. We don't want to just hear, oh, the game's great, it's fun, blah blah blah. We also would like to hear if you don't like the game.
That's right.
That's equally important. In fact, I would almost say it's more important. Someone saying that, hey, I don't like this game because of this, while it may not be a feature that we are looking to change outright, it's still very important feedback to us to hear why someone is turned off by the game.
Absolutely. Does anybody think Nisa needs a rework? We want to know that.
Don't encourage Mianhe. I'm sure he's in chat right now and he's ready for the Nisa rework.
It's for you.
That's for you, Mianhe. Shout out to Mianhe. Let's see. Are cooldowns calculated in real time or at the time the ability is used? I.e., if you use your ulti, then by haste, will the cooldown be shorter? I'm not 100% sure how that system works. Definitely a Gasty question. I want to say that it is, if you buy haste, I think the cooldown might be shorter. I'm not sure. I feel like I've had a conversation with Gasty about that before.
I am 90% sure that haste affects cooldown.
I know it does affect cooldown, but I'm wondering, if you use a 60-second cooldown ability and you buy 10% CDR from haste.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Is it now a 54-second cooldown?
Yeah,
or does it wait till the next usage? I'm not sure. That's an interesting question, actually. Probably already asked. Made in Quebec. Are the servers open on 5 days run now, or was it just a one-shot deal last week? So that was definitely a holiday special last week. We wanted to give you guys an extra day so that you can enjoy it, and then for the next day, if you celebrate Thanksgiving and stuff like that, enjoy meals with your family, enjoy the holidays, stuff like that. This week will more than likely be a Thursday through Sunday run, just like we've been accustomed to. But we know you guys enjoyed the Wednesday. We're very happy that you guys did. But I just don't think it's ready to do that every week just yet. But soon, do not worry.
Soon, TM.
Our server's up, and can I give away some keys in chat? Dr. Clueless, servers are not up right now. This is just an internal build. Nice cerulean ulti there.
There you go, bud.
Can you give away keys in chat? If you would like to, you can give away keys. If they're your keys, do whatever you will.
We're not going to stop you.
We're not going to stop you. We're not going to say, get out of here. Although Zanbot might have something to say about it, because I feel like he doesn't like those keys. If you want to PM people randomly, that's also a good way to hand away keys. But that is up to you. And be sure to follow the channel. As Andy said in chat, stick around, folks. We'll be giving away a 500 use beta key after this game.
500?
500?
500? How many people are watching this game?
We have about 2,100 people.
There's a lot of people.
Right.
Hello, Internet.
Hi, Internet. Good to see you again. You look handsome as always.
Oh, you're here. Hello.
Oh, I didn't notice you.
Oh, I didn't see you there.
Yeah, so 500 use beta key. So that means a quarter of you will be getting into the Dawn Gate beta. So stick around. I highly encourage you to. A lot of people come to the channel, they seek keys, and they're like, did they do keys yet? Did they give away keys yet? Stay tuned. 500 uses. A 500 use beta key will be given away as soon as this game ends. That's one key that 500 of you can use. That's a lot of people.
Give us questions.
Give us questions. Any questions? The game feels ready for 27. Can you talk about what keeps you from keeping the servers open with maintenance/patch windows?
Oh, that's nice, you guys. I mean, it's a variety. Oh shit, Luke is so dead. A variety. Oh shit, I might be dead too.
Q.
I know.
Nice.
Q and run.
You're good.
Need help on the bottom, guys. It's a variety of things. We're a small team. We are actually staffing the team up right now, but we need to make sure that we're ready for that. Also, we view my philosophy for the team, every time somebody new joins us, I say, hey, look, the most important thing for us is quality of the thing we're making, and quality of the life of the people that are making it. Mm-hmm. And we don't want to kill ourselves, because we want to be doing this game with you guys for hopefully years to come. And we're just not quite ready for that. And we also don't feel that the game is feature complete enough yet for 24/7 service. We think it's there, but we've got kind of a wrapper around the core game itself that we need to bring in. Stay tuned. Cool stuff is coming at you guys.
Definitely.
So it's kind of a combination, just making sure that we keep the team healthy, making sure that the game service is healthy. It's a hard problem. Don't mean it to be excuses, but we got a plan, and we're executing against the plan. So
there you go. I trust in. I believe in Dave Sarah.
Do you think
that I need bumper stickers for that?
Are they buying what I'm selling?
I hope so. Because that's all we're selling. We're a one-trick pony over here.
That's all I got. I know. Believe us, please.
Mind-blowing bacon. First of all, great name. Dave and I were actually talking before we went live.
Who's this guy? Name. We love you.
How about boosting shapers from team with the lever, like increased stats, more vim, or anything else? Interesting concept. Yep. I've never thought about that idea. I'm sure if Gasty is listening right now, which he usually is, maybe he'll think about it. That's an interesting concept, though.
I know that the notion of White Horse Solutions, for that, the design team's thought about a lot of things. Mm-hmm. We don't have anything in place right now for a reason. I can't speak, though, to, what that would be as intelligently as Hunter or Gasty would, because those are hard problems.
Is that near Seattle? We are based in the San Francisco Bay Area in California. Is your item design going to be like Dota, where items are bought more for their active, or more like League of Legends, where they bought for stats? So username 8978. To answer your question, kind of twofold. First of all, none of our items have actives. If you think of an active from another game like League or Dota or something, it has pretty much been moved to the Spellbook. Not all of them, of course, but some of them. For example, the first one that comes to mind is Stasis. The analog to League there is Zanya's Hourglass. So what we've done there is we've kind of divorced the idea of buying an item with an active, kind of just for the active.
Right.
So the example I give all the time, I main AD carry in League of Legends. I absolutely love Vayne. She's my favorite champion in the world. Sometimes I wish I could use a Zanya's without spending like 3,600 gold and wasting a bunch of ability power. That's just how it is. So in our game, guess what? Just take Stasis as one of your spells. Boom. And you have the quote-unquote Zanya's effect without having a bunch of wasted stats. And, that's kind of our design philosophy behind that. Secondly, the items do give just stats and mostly passives. However, our stat system is a little bit different. In League of Legends, there is AP and AD, and it scales. Ooh, that Moya ulti.
God, so done.
Even though you get caught by it, I
Melted.
love seeing Moya ulti. It's one of the
so
best things ever.
exciting. It's exciting and horrifying at the
At
same
the same time. Oh, this is so cool. I'm in the air. And I'm in the team. Yes, so our stat system works a little bit differently. Let's take two Shapers, for example. Amaranth, a high burst mage that Sparkly Starburst is actually playing right now. And then you have Nisa, who is kind of a ranged auto attack damage Shaper. The highest damage item in our game, if you actually go to power real quick, go to power, aggression, destruction, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Just boom, boom. And then destruction. So 75 power, guard break, increases defense pin by 25. So thank you very much. So that is the highest power item in the game. That's 75 power. Anyone can buy that, and it will help you with whatever you need. So, for example, those two, the Nisa, the auto attack range carry, and Amaranth, the burst caster, they can both buy destruction, and they will both be incredibly offensive, high damage characters. Nisa, when she buys the power, will give her more auto attack damage, and it'll scale her spells just a little bit. Not a ton, but a bit. Mostly she relies on her auto attacks. And then you have Amaranth. When she buys that plus 75 power with 25 flat defense pin, her auto attacks won't scale as highly as Nisa, obviously, but her spells will now do way more damage with plus 75 power. So what we've done there is we've kind of simplified the item system. There's still a lot of options and a lot of variety that you can buy, but we've made it so that there's no bad items for any particular Shaper. If you buy Rabadon's Death Cap on Caitlyn,
Oops.
what are you doing? Your 90 caliber net is going to hit really hard.
You did it wrong.
But why would you get that? You want the Infinity Edge. You want the Bork. You want the Bloodthirster, stuff like that. And then the opposite is true as well. If Vygar buys a Bloodthirster, what are you doing? That's just silly. Don't buy an Infinity Edge, Vygar, please. You troll. But in our game, guess what? Amaranth can buy a Destruction. Desecrator can buy a Destruction. King of Mass can buy a Destruction. Zeri can buy a Destruction. If you want to buy an item, buy it. That's where we get our fun and kind of and wacky builds sometimes. Even though it may not be, the item system will pretty much scale whatever you need. And defense, we do have armor and magic resist, so you can itemize against that Amaranth who just bought that destruction, or you can itemize against that Nisa that just bought that destruction as well. So the item system and stuff is very unique, and I think it's very awesome. Considering you buy one of 6 base items, there's life, there's time, or haste rather. Life, haste, power, will, armor, and hunger. And then those upgrade to another item, to one of many other items, and then those many other items upgrade to one of many other items. So there's the basic tier, the advanced tier, and the legendary tier.
Talk about what we're doing here with this Spirit Well.
And then
for the new people.
Again, the Spirit Wells. You guys might be looking at that and saying, "Oh, is that Dominion? That looks interesting." These are actually Spirit Wells. There's 4 of them on the map. They are economy nodes. As you can see, it's filling up, and Dave is going to capture it right. Meow, and he's going to stop this div. Wow, that perfect E timing. What a beast. So Spirit Wells. They are economy nodes that generate Vim over time, which is our version of gold. That's our resource in the game. So the more Spirit Well workers you have kind of farming that, the more Vim your team gets over time. They are highly contested points. As you can see right now on the mini-map in the bottom right, Dave's team has 3. That's why he's got 3 blue ones in each corner, and the enemy team only has 1. And then, of course, in the UI at the top, you can also see not only which team has which Spirit Well, but also whether it's locked. See the exclamation point on that bottom one? That means it's being taken, so he knows that that Amaranth is being very, very sneaky down there and taking your Spirit Well. So whenever she takes that Spirit Well, whenever that bar fills up, which is right now. Oh, now the enemy team has control of that Spirit Well, and it's locked for the next few minutes. And you can also see the gray bar counting down to when it becomes unlocked, and then it can be contested again. Over the course of that time, the Spirit Well will spawn a Spirit Well worker every few seconds, which will harvest Vim. And not only can you capture the Spirit Wells outright, you may also kill the Spirit Well workers, thus denying the enemy's economy even further.
That's right.
Because that bot Spirit Well that the enemy team just took, they can't capture it for the next few minutes, but if Dave goes down there, he can kill the Spirit Well workers, thus negating the effect of the Spirit Well until it is unlocked. Look at all these juicy Spirit Well workers. Farming up Vim for the enemy team, giving them extra money, and look, now they're all dead. It's just a massacre, pretty much, of Spirit Well workers. So even if they're not able to capture this, the enemy team is perfectly coming out and saying, hey, we don't want you to stifle our economy, we don't want you to do this, we're going to try to stop you, even though they failed right there. Now they're in a bad position because they are overextended, and the killing spree comes out for King of Mass right there. Really, really nicely played by Luke. So now you have a Spirit Well for the next few minutes, and you got a kill out of that. The enemy team is going to be hurting. In addition to that, at the top in the UI, you'll see 23, the number's 23 in blue, and the number 4 in red. That is the amount of Spirit Well workers that each team has. So that's another part of the UI. You can just see how much extra Vim am I generating? How much extra Vim is the enemy team generating? So right now, Dave's team is getting 20 more Vim per minute than the enemy team. So that's a sizable amount. Every few minutes, he's going to be able to pretty much get a brand new item, which is really, really nice. And that number will scale up, of course, as Spirit Well workers spawn. Will the workers ever be a threat and do any damage? They do a tiny bit, like a marginal amount of damage. I don't know if there are any plans to change it to make it more substantial. Considering one Spirit Well can have a max, I believe, of 16 workers on it, if you were to contest a fully stacked Spirit Well and they each did semi-significant damage, I feel like it would be really hard to take over, because if the enemy team comes and you have 16 minor damage Spirit Well workers, hitting on you, I feel like that might be a little bit too tough. So I feel like keeping their damage to an absolute minimum is probably the way it's going to stay, but I'm not Gasty. I can't quite speak on that. 18 workers max. I'm sorry. Thank you, Migas, for correcting me.
You just hit on so many concepts that, because we have a lot of viewers here, we try to educate and talk about what we're doing, obviously. It's why we're streaming the game. That and it's fun. But you just hit on so many concepts there from a design standpoint that kind of symbolize or sum up, the design philosophy around what we were talking about, reducing complexity, without removing depth, and you were talking about Spirit Wells, right? So this game does not have, this game does have last hitting, but it doesn't have denial. So a lot of Dota 2 players come in and go, I really miss the ability to basically harass my enemy's economy. I like that strategy. I like that layer of depth. So we said, okay, well, this is something that is harder for newer users to get into, and we believe MOBA is freaking awesome, so we want lots of people to get into it. But we also a lot of us are Dota 2 players too. We like that depth as well. So the Spirit Well, in addition to putting the economy on the map so everybody can see what's happening with it, it also has the combined effect of allowing you to still harass your enemy's economy, which you called out, but I just wanted to emphasize that's that design philosophy again. I don't mean this as marketing spiel. We're students of this genre. We take it really, really seriously. Design team, Gassy and Bibbs and Hunter and Scott and Dale on the map side. These guys are serious about what they're doing, and they're constantly looking for ways to make a contribution to the genre, and rather than just go like, okay, well that works well in that game, therefore we're going to do it too.
Exactly.
Nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that's not okay to do that, but it's not what we want to do. It's not what Wasteland's doing. Yeah,
the interesting thing about Spirit Wells too, being the form of deny, is cool too, because it is purely an economic kind of deny. In Dota, if you are bad at last hitting and the enemy is really, really good at denying, you're not only behind in gold, you're also behind in levels.
That's
and
right.
that can be really, really brutal.
Just punishing.
Yeah, it's super punishing, And some people like that. Some people are like, if I'm good at denying, I want to be able to punish them super hard. I want them to have a bad game and be level 4 when I'm level, 10. So, the fact that it's strictly an economy deny, I think it works really nicely and it works really well, because it is punishing, but it's not, I now have a 6-level disparity kind of punishment. It's I don't get my same Vim over time, but at least I'm a gladiator, at least I'm farming well, at least maybe you're good at farming, maybe that's the case, and you're still going to be relevant to the game. You're not going to be taken out of the game because your enemy is an incredible denier,
Well said.
So props to the design team for thinking up the Spirit Wells and making them.
Here's another thing that I want to point out, though, right? A lot of you guys in the community, you guys know that Spirit Wells aren't perfect, and this goes back to why we've taken the approach we've taken to put the game into beta when we did, the way that we did it. We've had some people go, gosh, it seems like you've been in beta forever. What's going on? For us, it's, hey, this is what it takes. We need tens of thousands of people pounding on this game with us to help us understand, Spirit Wells can actually be abused in certain ways. We thought we had a really cool mechanic, going to make a contribution to the genre, but when you got a team of, at the time, like 35 dudes and dudettes, we're working on something together, that's just not enough to expose all of the places where the design is falling down.
Most definitely. Someone's asking about Parasite, and Minx is saying I should talk about Parasite. So, perfect timing. Dave Sarah stumbles upon the Parasite as it dies. What is this giant creature thing? I wonder.
Hello.
Well, Bugsy, I'll tell you what it is.
It's the bee's knees.
It's the bee's knees, you see? Yeah. What it is it's kind of our version of a... It's a large evolving creature, and evolving is kind of the key word there. To use the analog to Dota and to League and stuff like that, it is like a Baron, it is like a Roshan, it's like a Kongor, I think is what Heroes of New Earth has. Is that right, Scott Moore? They talk about Kongor? They know about Kongor.
Are we talking about Kongor?
Except it isn't always that way. So Parasite is an interesting concept in that it is essentially a located monster that kind of starts as a dragon in that it gives a large amount of Vim to the team that slays it and not a buff. And then over time, I believe at like the 12.5 and the 20-minute mark, it evolves into a little bit more. At its second evolution, it now gives Vim and a buff. At its third evolution, it now gets a Vim and a larger, more significant buff. But also at every evolution, it's harder to kill. At its basic evolution, it pretty much auto attacks. It kind of sits there, doesn't do much. It's not flashy. It is, and it also physically gets bigger and cooler. I think Kendra was behind some of the concepts of Parasite. Absolutely incredible. It turns into this big dragon beast monster. As it gets bigger in its different evolution, it also gains more abilities. So it becomes kind of almost like a raid boss. Andy, Zwill always talks about don't stand in the fire. That is the #1 key for raiding in WoW, for fighting Parasite, anything. Don't stand in the abilities. Don't stand in the fire. At his rank 3. He not only has those big basic attacks, he also launches missiles. He also breathes fire on the ground. It's definitely an epic encounter, and it feels that way. And a lot of people for a long time, early in the beta, were having a lot of problems with Parasite. Parasite became like the biggest, most epic bait in the world. People just would throw games at Parasite. And then people learned, oh wait, if you treat it kind of like a raid encounter, if you don't stand in the fire, if you don't get hit by the missiles, he's not that hard, not a pushover by any means. But he started, and I think there were some nerfs that were done to him as well. It became more standard for teams to take Parasite when they were winning, start to push their advantage, all that kind of stuff. And with the new map revisions that were introduced that are still in the testing phases, as Dave mentioned towards the beginning of the stream, we do have a beta map. We have a beta in our beta.
Beta?
We're like exhibit. Like I heard Yo Dog, I heard you like betas. So we gave you a beta map so you can beta while you beta. It is a map that you can only find in the custom game lobbies. It is map V2 is what we've been calling it. It is an unarted map with some pretty significant changes to it. One lane is a little bit different than the other. There's different jungle paths. I believe we've changed. There used to be 2 bindings in front of the Guardian. It was just a completely different map. And when a lot of people see it, they're like, hey, this map doesn't look completed. What's up with that? It's because it's not. It's because we are testing the changes with you guys, and you guys are giving us the feedback. And that feedback has been absolutely great. I love seeing, the threads on Reddit saying, hey, I like this about the new map. I don't like this. We're reading that. Dale, our level designer, is reading it. The design team is reading it. Gasty's reading it. Everyone is trying to make the next iteration of the Dawngate map as amazing as it can be. And rather than doing that behind closed doors and then saying, here it is, here's map V2, enjoy it, we are allowing you guys to say what you like and what you don't like about it.
So what are they seeing here? Talk
so as the game is drawing to a close, the Guardian, it's not a building. It's not something that sits there and kind of takes it as you kill it. He fights back, and he is menacing. He can absolutely destroy things. And obviously this is the animation that's been called on the streets, on the Dawngate streets, is flushing the toilet. They just flush the Guardian right there down the toilet. But yeah, he fights back. He has abilities. He throws an AoE stun. He has an AoE knockback. He has an AoE kind of daze, large damage, and then of course he has the line fire that is incredibly damaging.
It's painful, man.
Don't stand in the fire.
Don't stand in the fire.
If there's anything Dawgate's trying to teach you, is don't stand in the damn fire.
So basically, we all rated too much, and we had to put the fire in the game so we could yell at each other across the room. Don't stand in the fire.
Don't stand in the fire.
Or as my guild used to say, don't stand on the shit. Get out of the shit.
All right, so
what's up, Organic?
Like we said, guys, we're going to give away a 500 use beta key. Register at waystonegames.com. Well, we still got to do it. We got 1100, right? We're doing it. 500 use beta key. YOLO.
Hello.
So let me get this key. It's not. Oh, it's not November anymore. What am I doing?
Oh, it's December. How did it become December?
I have
Holy shit.
no clue.
What's up, free?
All right, so 500 use beta key. You guys can register at waystonegames.com. Get to the point that says redeem your beta key and try to be one of the first 500 people. That's double the key. Try to be one of the first 500 people to input this key. It's going to appear right above our heads, maybe below our heads. It's going to be somewhere.
We never know.
We never know.
Where will it be? Maybe it'll come out of Brad's ear and go into mine.
That'd be amazing. So here we go. 500 use beta key, guys. Dropping in 3, 2, 1. Boom. That's 500 uses right there. And while that's up, while that's being used up, Dave and I are still here to talk to you guys. So if you guys have any questions, if you're already in the beta, if you want to ask more questions, if you're not one of the 500 people scrambling to put in this key as quickly as possible, we're still here for you. Are the new jobs posted on EA website, or is it a shoe-in?
A shoe-in. I don't know what you mean by shoe-in. Maybe you mean like inside job. I believe the new jobs are posted on the EA website. Let's not be oblique about it. Let's get the new jobs posted, linked into the subreddit and linked into the official forums.
Cool.
So on the to-do list.
There you go. What do you think about having a 5th pushing role? You know, as lead producer and assistant community manager, we're not designers, obviously.
We're not designers, but I play one on TV.
Can't speak too hard on that. Next time Gasty's on, though, Mars, ask those high-level questions like that.
I mean, for me, my mind is wide open to wherever these guys want to take the game. You know, math is hard. You know, and introducing a variable like that disrupts the entire thing. It's not to say it's not possible. I would love to see that. I really defer to these guys. I don't. There's different ways to produce a video game, you know, and doing other people's jobs is a bad way to produce a video game.
Let Gasty punch into his calculator, Tron, and then we'll see what happens.
Totally.
Do they beta test every weekend? Yes, we do. Don't pass gas. Nice. Very just life lesson right there.
That's true. I gotta work on that.
Thursday through Sunday is when the beta events are live right now. So congrats to the 500 people that are hopefully getting in via this key.
We'll see.
Remember, register at waystonegames.com, and this key is good for 500 people. And until someone tells me that it's over and it's done, it's gonna stay there. So keep using it, guys.
True story.
Certain MOBAs. So Milkum95 says. Or just Micum, sorry. Certain MOBAs such as LoL and Dota are a lot more rewarding for kills, where recently Smite has lowered the value of kills in the game. Just don't get hit rewards for being hyper-aggressive for kills. So, you know, as far as the Vim values and experience values are concerned, I can't speak to those specific numbers and whatnot, but I can say we do have, you know, like the Predator role, for example, one of the roles in our game, which I believe we haven't even really talked about this whole cast. We have 4 roles that you choose before or right after you choose your shaper, I suppose. We have a hunter role, which focuses on jungling. You get healed for a percentage of the jungle minion's max health as it dies, a % chance to gain bonus Vim when the jungle minion dies, and you also deal a little bit of bonus damage to jungle minions. That kind of I like that role because it bolsters many shapers' kits who may not be predetermined to jungling. Like Volek, for example, built-in life drain, built-in AoE, great jungler. You know, someone like Dibs, who Scott Moore has jungled effectively before, was very scary, but that hunter role has helped him where he needs help.
Absolutely.
If you choose the hunter role as Volek, you are incredibly effective in the jungle. If you choose the hunter role and someone who is maybe not as effective in the jungle as Volek, you can be effective. You can become that base level of efficacy and do well in the jungle.
And bringing it back to Predator, you know, it goes back to that notion, play the shaper you want the way you want to play it. You know, so there's risk reward. You know, do you want to be rewarded hardcore for kills? Take that role. And then go play the game that way. If you're like me and sometimes you're hot and most of the times you're cold, maybe it's not the best idea for me to be rolling Predator.
And it's great too because I like to see Varian, for example, one of my favorite shapers because I love ranged AD. He is fantastic to play. I'm good at farming. I play Gladiator. That's just how I roll as Varian. But there are people out there that may like the shaper. They may like the AoE wave clear of his Q. They may like the displacement of his W. They may like the reveal of his E. They may like his ultimate. Maybe they're not good at farming. Play him as a tactician. Ain't no harm in that. Like you will be just as effective as a Gladiator. Gladiator sure has a chance to be higher on the Vim scale if he farms well, but there is no shame in playing someone as a tactician. I love tactician. I love Predator if I'm feeling on fire, if I'm feeling like playing that, you know, Amaranth, Zalgus, love playing them as Predators. And then if you're someone like Scott Zyro SC, the Feeder Moore, you can play Varian as a hunter. You know, you can play Mikella as a hunter. You can play Nisa as a hunter. Play whatever shaper you want. Plug them into whatever role you want to play. And just enjoy the game.
You know,
that's it.
And some of the guys on not on Dibs, on Money Pigs last night, we're talking about, rolling for Tactician in Dawngate, and their commentary, and these guys are all better players than I am, their commentary was, as a solo queue strategy, probably a bad idea, because most people are trying to find the meta in the game at this point, and it's kind of, roll 2 Glads, a Hunter, and 2 Tact, so you're probably going to end up leaving money on the table. But their conversation said, for higher skill play, 4 Tact, totally viable strategy.
Oh, yeah.
Like beastly, because it lets you just focus on harass. Yep. Somebody asked a really interesting question, a little up. Miani did. I didn't even know it was you. Not calling you out. Yeah, this is Waystone's first game as a studio. How do you guys feel when you see games such as League take a lot of Dawngate design choices into consideration for their new season changes?
Salt. You gotta make sure you get the table salt in there.
I think that's a really, really cool question. It's very flattering the way you framed that up. We don't presume that that's their motivation for doing this. Like I said, half an hour ago or so, we're friends with a lot of guys at Riot. Before Worlds, I was down there hanging out with them, met a bunch of folks, and they were like, hey, we love what you're doing, and da-da-da-da-da. And certainly people like you, Miani, and others in the community have pointed out, this seems a little Dawngate-esque. I don't know where the motivations are. I know that games are freaking hard. They're really hard to make. Yeah. And you take something as massive as League of Legends, the responsibility for shepherding that entertainment experience for tens of millions of people is enormous. Yeah. So why do I say games are hard and that's a big responsibility? I don't presume that those guys are looking at our game going, oh, fuck, we got to go do that. They're a really thoughtful group. Cadwell's team's a serious team, obviously.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that a lot of their changes, are a long time in the works, certainly in discussions. Yeah. What it says to me, being a member of this team is, hey, we've got our finger on the pulse of something important in terms of what's valuable for the way that people play these games and express their mastery of the gameplay in these games. So I see, this is what I mean when I say we want to make a contribution to this genre. We see, kind of echoes of similar designs happening in the space. We're just stoked to be a part of it. So
there you go. An important question someone's asking, Adrina Lineski is saying, we can't install the game now then? I just wanted to address everyone that's getting into the beta right now. You can download the game, you can patch it, you can install it, all that kind of stuff, but the servers will not be live until they are opened on, I believe Thursday is going to be this week, Thursday through Sunday. But yes, get it ready, get it patched. Take care of all that stuff beforehand so you can jump right into the game on Thursday at 9 a.m. PDT when it opens up. Any other questions you guys want to have?
I got, how much do I got? I can stick around for like 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes. That's what we got. The camera now moves around the Guardian when defeated. Any chance we'll be able to rotate the camera at some point? Nope. That's not going to be a manual thing. It's going to be a completely cinematic kind of experience. But it is, without teasing or spoiling too much, it is a sign of things to come.
There you go. I see what you did there.
Yeah,
I don't think they see what you did there, but I see what you did there.
There you go. It's the beginning of something new.
There you go.
Cool. Rather than just seeing a building explode, it's gonna be way better than that. So just ready.
Somebody asked, who's their favorite shaper lore wise, and are those magic cards? Yes, he's got magic cards in his hands. Who's your favorite shaper lore wise?
Oh man, I like. Considering we've only had like real hard lore for like 9 shapers, I guess now, because we started with the 12 and they didn't really have a super fleshed out backstory. Every shaper we've released since then, they've had their own kind of stuff. I think Vex had a really interesting, like, Chris did this weird, like, new age crazy, like, writing style that was just bonkers. It was like something like E.E. Cummings would have written, like it's like poetry in motion.
I like that. Cummings is my favorite. I don't know if you did that on purpose.
No, I did not.
No, he's the man. It reminds me, literature nerd here, of the way Faulkner wrote Sound and the Fury, where you start out with the mentally handicapped guy, but he doesn't tell you that. The whole story is being narrated from this guy's perception, and then you meet another character and suddenly the voice changes. And what Chris did in the Vex piece was he kind of starts out in Vex kind of primordial brain as Petrus is experimenting on it and kind of becoming whole and becoming sentient. It's I'm with you. It's pretty crazy.
It's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. I very much enjoy that lore. My favorite shaper, like play wise, I think as I said, Varian is just
Varian.
The bee's knees.
Yeah,
Love
the
'em.
bee's knees. For me, my favorite Shapers lore is not in the game yet, so I can't tell you. And I also got to say, and this is like a total tease, I'm sorry, but we got such cool shit happening with lore.
Oh, yeah.
It's ridiculous. I wish I could just be like, here it is, look at this thing. But soon.
Soon we'll be able to tell you, here it is, look at this
Yes,
thing.
totally.
Whenever it's time. Whenever that thing may or may not be ready, of course. Is there any kind of global background to the whole game? Like in League, there's the Institute of War. What happened that the Dawn Gate opens and Shapers fight?
Mind-blowing bacon, again, best name of the day. I recommend, head over to the subreddit that Venor and the crew run over there and do a quick search. Or here on the Twitch site, see if you can dig up Hunter Zalgus Howe. He's our creative director. He did a deep dive with Andy a few months back, maybe 3 months ago at this point, on kind of the
Basic
mythos of the
overarching world. So it wasn't like incredibly granular, which we'll get to, hopefully eventually. But it was, this is what the North is about. This is what the South's about. This is the East. This is the West. Here's the map.
These are the rules.
Here's Duck Island up here, which I love. I love Duck Island or Gooseland. And as far as stuff, again, like, I wish we could talk about and tell you guys about, but we did like an internal lore extravaganza a few weeks ago, and it was a blast. Like, it
was a good time.
Hunter told us all about each shaper, their predispositions, what they're about, how they came to be, all this kind of stuff, and I had fun. Yep. And I think as you guys learn more about the story, and as all these mediums come out that you guys will be able to see the story in, will be a blast, and I think you guys will have a lot of fun.
And the heart of what you were just saying is we take lore really seriously here. We don't ever want it to get in the way of the game, and this is really important. When Hunter and I first were like, hey, do we want to do this thing together? Mm-hmm. He's like, this is important to me, but it's also important that this not block gameplay in any way.
Yeah.
We know, because we are this player, that a lot of us love lore and love, hardcore action entertainment video games.
Yeah.
And sometimes those two things don't want to fit together.
Guess what? You can't play
right?
Nisa until you can answer the name of her squirrel. Like, you have to type that in. It's like a CAPTCHA. It's like, I'm trying to lock in Nisa, but I don't know his name is Tala. What's happening?
It's Tala. Yeah, that's decidedly unfun, But lore is really important to us. So yes, Mind-blowing bacon, lore is hugely important. There's tons of it, and it will continue to come out as the game develops. But like we said way back at the beginning of the stream, the most important thing for us was to make sure that there was that there was a really good MOBA that really good MOBA players could get into, and that new MOBA players could kind of become better MOBA players within. And so that's kind of the way why we structured the beta the way that we have.
Mm-hmm. So if we have maybe one more question from Danny123498. Are you guys going to try to do something on the competitive community versus the people who play for fun, because League of Legends has a horrible community? Every community has its bad seeds, its bad eggs, stuff like that. We believe, a majority of the community so far for us is fantastic. And as far as competitive and casual is concerned, there are stuff we want to do in the future with like ranked and stuff like that to make sure people can sate that competitive desire that they may have. But then there's also people that want to play for fun.
Totally.
But as far as competitive is concerned right now, we do have stuff like the Battle in the Bot Lane, MOBA-champion.com is putting on. It's been absolutely fantastic. We've now, as of last week, or 2 weeks ago rather, started hosting that here on our own channel. It's a 2v2 tournament that takes place every other week. The next one will be this Friday.
Yep.
And we usually have guest casters on, including, Twerp and Best Dibs and A are the main hosts of it, and then Andy Belford, our community manager, hopped on 2 weeks ago and got his put his first shoutcasting pants on. I think he had a lot of fun. Scott Moore will be joining them this Friday for the Battle in the Bot Lane. So the competitive, I think it's cool because they're doing what they can. There's no spectator, there's no replay. So 2v2, in my opinion, is like a really good format because you can get the casters in there to watch and see everything that's going on that you can't do in a 5v5. Like in a 5v5, you could like watch over someone's shoulder or like have them stream it.
Not the same.
It's just not the same. So, I think they're doing really well with what they have now, and it's the perfect format to compete, the perfect format to kind of get your competitive desire out, see if you like it, see how you like playing that 2v2. Yep. Eventually, that'll turn into hopefully a 3v3, 4v4, and eventually the 5v5 Dawn Gate will be happening, and there will be tournaments and You guys will have a
Yeah,
a
I
damn
mean,
good time.
it's, the development question that comes to me is, hey, make spectator mode or get matchmaking to where it needs to be. No brainer. No, matchmaking needs to get to where it needs to be. But like Brad was saying, it's humbling for us to see the community put these things together because I mean, I guess the kind of long story short is we hear you guys loud and clear. We came out in a closed beta half a year ago, and we said we get this question all the time, and we said, hey, if people want to play this game competitively, and that's the way it starts going, we will support that. But we're not so presumptuous to say, "Funk, here's your next esport." So we hear you guys loud and clear. We're doing what we can to support it in beta, and it's pretty clear that you guys want more competitive support. So you'll get it.
There you go.
What form does it take? I don't know yet, but you'll get it.
Andy and I will do whatever we can as far as the community team is concerned to help you guys out.
Andy will wear his Shoutcaster pants.
He will, and he
They're
looks great in them. Also, they just make it look good. He pulls them off. But that's the show. That's 2:30. The developer playtest has ended. We had a victorious Desecrator game. You went 2-2-11.
I'll take it.
Racking up that assist there.
I'll take it.
Interestingly enough, also it's the third highest Vim on your team.
Third highest
as a
Vim,
tactician Desecrator.
almost second.
Just showing you what's up,
There you go.
So thank you guys again for watching. We appreciate it. Follow us on our social media, facebook.com/thedawngate, twitter.com/thedawngate. Hit the follow button just below the stream. You'll get updates every time we go live. Our next time we'll be live will be tomorrow at 11 a.m. PDT for the community catch-up with Ryan Seif. Correct, Andy? We'll be talking about
I know what you got.
some stuff. We'll be talking about some stuff.
Tune in.
I
Cool
recommend you tune in. So hit that follow button so you get notified when we go live. Again, I'm Brad Pluto-Ramey, the Assistant Community Manager, joined by the wonderful, the lovely lead producer, Dave Sarah. Thanks for coming on again. It's been too long.
Boop.
Let's not let it be this long next time you come on. Let's have you on more often. How about that?
Okay.
I pulled his hair into it. So thank you guys for watching again. I end the stream always with a great piece of music from Andrea Chang. So enjoy it, and we'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. PDT. Peace.